You can trust the PAP. We've been governing Singapore for more than 60 years. We've never let you down. You can trust the current PAP leadership. For 15 years, I've been PM. I've done my best to serve you. In the last term, you gave us a strong mandate, and we have delivered on that. We've used the mandate to do many things, to improve our preschools, to build more and better HDB flats, to improve our MRT reliability, to phase out streaming in schools, have MGP for seniors, better health care. We have delivered for you. In this crisis, we have delivered for you. We've kept Singaporeans safe. We've kept you in jobs. We've made sure your livelihoods are taken care of. Looking forward, we are going into a more severe crisis, and you need Singapore to have the best team to be looking after your interests and be tackling these problems for you. COVID-19 and the economic downturn are not going away anytime soon. And unless we have good leadership from the PAP, I think we will be in a much weaker position. Fourthly, some people say, why not have more opposition in Parliament? Well, you can vote PAP and still have opposition in Parliament. Because we've changed our constitution. Whatever happens in the elections, there will be at least 12 opposition members in Parliament. Constituency MPs and NC MPs. And they both have equal rights, full rights to vote on everything. Constitutional amendments, money bills, motions of confidence. We want them there. They will make a contribution. But you do not have to vote for them, even though you really prefer a PAP government. Finally, we, the PAP, can offer you security for the future. We're building our team for the long term. I have depth in my team, new members, younger ones, people who are being exposed, groomed, prepared to take over from the older ones in order to provide Singapore good leadership beyond the working life of me and my older colleagues. And we have the plans to take you forward. Plans for transforming Singapore, where there's a Punggol Digital District, where there's a Greater Southern Waterfront. Plans for changing our education system. Plans for improving our healthcare system. Plans for making this the best place to live. And we can deliver on those plans. So vote for the PAP to secure your next few years, to secure your long-term future, so that this is a good place for a long time for you, your children, and your grandchildren.
That's a very good question. Voters should vote for the Workers' Party because we represent a constructive opposition in Parliament. We are here we don't see the PAP as the enemy. What we are looking for is beyond the PAP, beyond the horizon. We want a Singapore where there are good outcomes for Singapore and Singaporeans. We will have to work hard for those outcomes, but we feel that a diversity of voices in Parliament is critical for that to take place. And that's what the candidates of the Workers' Party will do.
Well, I think Singaporeans are now, as I said, more aware of what they want of parliamentarians. There is this question of accountability, question of transparency, and also question of independence of appointments of leaders of our country, especially in the civil service. I stand very strongly by these three fundamental principles. It's not only me, because when I share with people I met and those people who come even to join me, they are very, very determined now to see that the process of government must be correct. And for this process to really be good, you need three fundamentals, three pillars. And these are the three pillars that will then create trust with the people. And then I feel that they will come forward and join my party or any of the political parties who share this very fundamental principle of accountability, transparency, and of course, good appointments in our civil service, and also some of the more important jobs in the country. These are really basics, and we don't want to run away. And the curious young people, when I meet them, always ask me, hey, Doc, why is it they never let me know that this particular, like for example, Prime Minister's wife, who appoints the Prime Minister's wife to become, to be in Temasek? I mean, these were questions they thrown at me. Then I said, then why? What's the criteria for what they call appointing? And why is it every time they hear that her salary is not known? Although you can say it's a private company and so on, but it's the people's money. So these are the questions, these are searching questions the young people are asking me, because it's always in the papers. It has always been asked by people of all, even among all the political parties or so. So I think these are very basic, very fundamental. They want to make sure the appointments are not related parties. And I think these are important. So these are the things the curious young Singaporeans want to know.
You know, we've been campaigning on this 4 yes, 1 no. The first yes is to suspend the GST for a year and a half. We collect about $10 billion in GST annually, right? To suspend it just temporarily for a year, I think that's very doable, especially when we've got reserves where analysts estimate it to be around to the tune of about $1 trillion, correct? Our second yes is to this retrenchment benefit scheme, which I just talked about. The third yes is for income for retirees. We have research coming up telling us that retirees require something to the tune of about $1,000 to $300 to $400 a month to be able to afford minimal basic conditions. And yet the CPF payout for an average retiree household is about $280. Now you just work out the math and see how insufficient that has become, and we need to provide these elderly some sort of a subsistence kind of income. And as I said, the money will remain in Singapore. Not only will it help them, it will help our businesses as well. The fourth yes that we want to say is for the PAP to put the people first. And as I just mentioned earlier on, for them to make sure that things like that, they just don't capitalize and manipulate the system in their interest at the expense of Singaporeans. One example would be the calling for this election now, as well as the intention to call for one earlier on in the year.